Okay, continuing with the assembly of Starship MK-1, we're going to do the nosecone. Reviewing the PDF, we see the first two pages contains the rings that will form the nosecone, and the next two other pages have the tab connectors for each ring. So we're going to start assembling. Let's go to see our model. Okay, so here are the first two rings. These are the two rings and their respective tab connectors. So before that, I'm going to start curving them. Let's begin. First one, very easy technique. So both the ring and its corresponding connector needs to be curved. Okay. And we're going to apply glue on the ring so we can glue its connector, and paying close attention to these teeth that will need to be aligned with the ring. Alright, so let's do that. We're going to apply glue. This process applies to all other rings. Alright. Pay close attention to this part where it has a tab. You can see from here you have to be sure that the teeth will align with the ring. Start folding it, putting in position until it dries. Alright, so that's the idea. Each ring is going to be handled the same way. Ring and its corresponding tab connector needs to be curved, and then we can proceed to apply glue. This piece will cover this one, so we'll apply glue here. Alright, we're gonna let it dry out, and we're gonna do our next ring. Once it's dry, we will put it on top by folding these teeth in an angle so the upper ring will fit on top. Alright, so let's do the same thing with our next. Let me arrange the camera. Okay, folding it, curving it, and curving its corresponding tab connector. Same way, apply glue. then spread it like a with the tip of the glue bottle. Okay. Important to align everything. Okay. And let apply pressure there till it curves. 2 seconds before gluing it all together. Good. So now we can proceed to apply glue on this area. Good. These little markings that you see there, those little boxes drawn, are for the canard supports, the smaller wings that will go there. Okay. All right. So we just glued the first 2 rings. We're gonna let it dry, and then we'll bend these teeth in an angle to the inside so the upper ring will slide in. So let's these 2 dry out, and then we can proceed with our next set of rings. So that's the idea. Okay, let's continue. So here you can see that I have managed to glue 4 rings. Now I want to show you how we start putting these rings on top of each other. So this is the same way we did with when we were assembling the bulkheads of both Hopper and Starship. When on previous videos I showed you how to assemble the bulkheads. It's the same thing. It's like a ring with these tab connectors, and these tabs have to be bent inwards. So I'm going to demonstrate this. And this has to be done on each ring before it's glued on top of the other. Alright. When we fold them in an angle, what it's going to do is going to help you slide in the other ring on top. It will fit perfectly. Alright, so you can see there. And let's do the other one. You know, each ring has a label. If you have been very careful in gluing the connector inside, showing the label. So this is the base, and this is ring 1. Just go and see your reference page, and you can see which ring goes on top of each other. But anyway, in essence, there's no room for error because each ring is larger than the next one, and so there's only one way that they have to be fit. So we're going to apply this ring on top of the larger one. You have to apply glue on the top ring always. So just a little glue here, this bottom on this part, and you're going to be spreading it out. Alright, we're good. So now, to align each ring, find the seam line. That's your reference point for each ring. That's how they're going to be glued one on top of each other, aligning each seam line. So open these now. Once they have been folded, open them a little bit. So they will fit tight. Now align the seam line first. There. Press. And go on the opposite side. Anchor. You can see it's a perfect fit. Now it's just a matter of gluing the inner, the tabs, the inside. This is what I'm doing. You see, just gluing each teeth, triangular tabs on the inside. The more careful you want to be in terms of keeping your hands free of glue, you know, it's not that easy. You always gonna have, there's always a risk for staining the outside of the model. But just to be careful, you have to do. Okay, we're gonna leave this. We can glue our next group. And you can either wait for this to dry and put the other one on top, but you can speed the process by gluing in pairs, knowing which one goes on top. By the size, this is the one that is next. So let's just start bending these tabs. Remember, you have to be patient. Don't rush. Yes, it's a boring step in assembling each one of these rings. There are like 9 rings all together that will make the nose cone. So you gotta be patient. At the end, you have a good model. You can show it to your friends. On a future video, I will show you the same process of building the Starship model, but using metallic paper. and it's the same steps that we're doing, except that handling the metallic paper is a little tricky. It's you have to be very careful and know important things before you handle that paper. Okay, let's continue. So we're gonna glue these two now. All right. Again, seam line with seam line. If the teeth are bent too much, so just open them again. That way, the upper ring will fit tightly. Find your seam line. In this case, it's here. Okay, this is my seam line, and the other one it's here. All right. There, and the opposite side, and start pressing the teeth. Clean your hands. Just be sure that no other teeth, connector teeth is sticking out in between the rings. So there, press inside like this, leaving no gaps on the outside. Don't worry about the lines that are drawn on top of the rings. Some of them are not aligned exactly, but alright, we're gonna let this dry. The same step, we're gonna be putting together the rest, and then we'll finish. Well, as you can see now, we're gonna put together more rings here, and the section. You can do it individually, one ring on top of each other, or you can make it in groups. You know, it's up to you. But it's pretty straightforward. All the rings go on top of each other. So we're gonna let these glue, and we're gonna now work on the smaller ones. And same procedure. You just have to find a tool that will help you curve these parts. So use your fingers to bend these. On the larger rings, you saw me bending it with the fingers because it's a larger area, it's much easier to handle, but with a small piece like this, it's better using a dowel or a marker, a sharpie like this. Alright. The same way, all these little parts have to be curved. Look how easy it is when, alright, there. Okay, next. If this happens to be too thick, we'll get a pen or the handle of the X-Acto knife, or a very thin dowel that will allow you to bend here. such small parts, I like to apply glue very carefully, applying a little piece of paper and with another piece of paper, cardstock, just dip it and start applying glue in the area where the connector is going to be placed. You just have to make an effort in keeping everything clean. You know, it makes a big difference. A clean model compared to a not so clean model. Help yourself moving the tabs out there. Remember, all this has to be done while the whole piece is being curved. Alright, let it dry. There. We're gonna do the next one. We're almost done. Just a matter of keeping everything, all these parts dry, and then we can proceed to put them together, and that's it. And then put it on top of a whole block. We will put it on top of Starship. There. Make use of the tweezer to hold the seam line. It's very important. There. Okay. All these little pieces use a tweezer. On future videos, I will make it better to show up close these small parts. So videos will improve. improve the audio. Thanks for feedback of my followers. They made me aware that the audio was not that good. So I was able to address that issue. Okay, let's proceed to glue the rest. We're going to fold. These have been folded, and we're gonna put it here on top. Okay, but we can also go ahead and bend these teeth. Alright, we're going to apply glue here. And start spreading the glue. Okay, let's get this ready. Align seam line with seam line, remember. Find your seam line here with the seam line on this area. There. And on the opposite side, okay, we just that. We have to let it sit. And with my fingers, I am pressing the teeth. It might look that there's a gap, but no, it's the drawing of a line there. There's no gap. Okay, we're gonna let it sit there while we going to complete the smaller parts. Alright, let's put this together now. For the small parts, you have to be very careful in handling these little parts. That's a tip. These teeth, you can either use the tip of the tweezer to push each teeth, each triangular tap inside. Therefore, the very top ring will just sit there. Let's use a tweezer, and let's open this, and we're going to apply glue on this little piece there. this will glue here. Alright, let's do this. Alright, I'm very carefully. You can do this, put it down, and with your finger, press the whole thing. There. Check, yes. And then you can use the base of the knife handle. Just do it like this. There you go. Very good. Keep doing it until you get it not perfectly, but somewhat round, like a dome. Now we can proceed to glue it on top. Let's apply glue here. Let's put more glue. Okay. Same thing, seam line with seam line. Alright. Perfect. There. And with your finger on the opposite side, press the connector tabs. Okay, this is done. Your hand, we're going to apply this here on top, same way. Okay, find your seam line, find your seam line. There, there. Very good. Careful with this knife. Let's take this one here. We're going to bend these last set of connectors, the tabs. Just be sure you're applying enough glue. You don't want to leave some gaps on that portion. Clean your hands, clean your fingers, and let's proceed. Seam line, seam line. We're going to close. If you feel that it doesn't, the tabs don't touch the inside, again, open them a little bit. So now the ring, this last part will fit tightly. There's contact. Okay, right there. Just press here, and with your other fingers, try to smooth the connection area. Very good. This is done. We're going to glue this on top of Starship. Alright, and now before we glue the nose cone, we need to place a connector on the very top of Starship, on this portion. This connector will go on the inside like this, allowing the nose cone to be glued. So we're going to apply glue here. Open this. There's a line that will tell you how deep you're going to glue this part. There. Be sure that all the teeth are shown there. Good. Next. Alright, so there you go. We're gonna let it dry, and then we can glue the nose cone. Alright, this part is dry, and we managed to fold these tabs that will connect to the completed nose cone. So let's apply glue on the nose cone, and we will complete Starship with nose cone. Okay. Alright. Align seam line with either seam line with any of the seam line, whatever side you prefer, it's the same. Sure that the teeth are kept inside. Let's review. See this. And there. And there. Beautiful. Remember, seam line of the nose cone with any of the two seam lines on the body. Check for this line where both parts are connected. And there you go. There you have the completed body with nose cone. Now, engine section is completed as well. So having these leg supports will allow us to connect the wings. On the next video, we will connect wings and upper wings or canards in place, and we will complete the model. Thank you.